there is a chance that both of those splits made their way back into this hive. And there's some decent bee activity on this hive and certainly no sign of ants. So I'm going to open up this hive. I could not find a queen in this hive either of the last 2 inspections that I did. So I'm going to take my time with this inspection, check it out, and see what's going on. Hopefully this is the salvation to those 2 splits. There's a few bees up top here, which is good. I'm going to have a look for a queen up here. Not overly likely that she's up here, but you never know. Yeah, I don't even know that there is a queen in here. I'm just hoping that there is. There has not been one before. Last 2 inspections I did not have a queen in here. So if I suddenly find a queen in here, I think there's a good chance that that's what happened. One queen came out of the split and headed back into the sanctity of this hive. Let's see. If that's what's actually happened, that's not a bad scenario at all, because this is the hive where those splits came from. A decent number of bees up here, which is good. Looking for the queen on the inner lid. Did not see her. Do you see her? Okay, let's have a go through this upper box. Now, one of the frames I put in here, there's a good concentration of bees right over here. See that? There's actually a decent number of bees in this box, so it's a good sign. One of these frames that I put in had a swarm cell on them, so it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on here. Let's figure it out. A decent number of bees in this hive. Let's see if we can find a queen. Easy, easy guys, don't get excited. No queen. Just take a second look, because the queen sometimes likes skirting away from my face, which is a reaction I'm pretty much used to in females. No queen. Really impressed with the number of bees around here. Hoping that's going to mean something. Again, I'd be perfectly happy to see brood in here, or eggs, or any sign of a queen for that very much empty frame. That's to be expected. This is more or less a filler frame that I put in there. They are working on it though. Just looking for the queen here. Looking for a queen here. I'm not sure that there is a queen in this box, but this next frame looks pretty promising. Let's have a look at it. Just trying to be gentle with these bees, because I have not even started up my smoker. That's how optimistic I am. Another word for optimistic? Stupid. Come on guys, look at my fingers in there. You know I want to put my finger there. Why do you stand there? Come on. Thank you. Now you have to plead with these guys. Reason. Oh, there's a very nice brood frame. So there has been a queen in here, that's for sure. Oh, and there she is. There she is, right at the bottom. Look at that. See how she went away from me again? Queen, don't fly away. Let's see her on this side. Where are you, sweetheart? There she is, right at the bottom of the frame. Look, bottom middle. Right there, do you see her? There is a beautiful, healthy, fat queen right on the bottom of this frame. I had a feeling she's heading towards the middle now. Look at the size of her. She's a big, fat queen. See her there? Right near the bottom. Heading to the bottom. Okay. And this hive is jam-packed. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that the splits made their way back into this box. And you can just tell the number of bees on this box is stupendous, right? It's much bigger, much more robust than it was before. And the 2 splits are done. There's nothing in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the inspection here, see what I see up top. I want to make sure there aren't multiple queens in this box, because that is a possibility. So I'm going to continue the inspection in this box. I won't touch this frame because the queen is on the other side, so I don't want to mess with her at all. Maybe I'll just give a bit of space here. But then what I will do is I'll go back to the splits, dump those bees down in front of this hive, get rid of the split boxes, see what resources I have in the split that is better than the resources that I have here, and not mess with these guys again. Apparently they didn't want to be split, or maybe they were split. The queen swarmed, took off, which is a good possibility, because I've been through this box twice without finding a queen. And there was definitely 1 queen made in one of the splits I made. So, again, what stands to reason for me is that that queen didn't like her split, knew that this hive was available, and came on over and made herself at home again. And she is a beautiful, big, fat queen, so... And she has room to lay. Look at this cell. Look at this frame. Beautiful, big, empty frame. And obviously she's been up top here laying because we found brood. Alright, not like in this frame, so I'll probably pull this one out. Yeah, replace it with a better frame here. Just looking to make sure there isn't a second queen in this box. Wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise. So now I'm just basically reversing what I did before. I'm taking all these empty frames that, you know, they would have to build out, and replacing them with the frames that were originally in this hive, which are already drawn out and ready for the queen to lay. So this is a hive that now must be left alone, and or we'll see what's going on in the bottom brood box, but this hive could probably use a honey super soon. See what's going on with this frame. Yeah, it's pretty empty. It's got nectar on this side and not even drawn out on this side. So I'm going to remove this frame for now. I think I have a better one to give her. Well, this is a honey frame. I want to give her that one. See if I have a frame that has some brood laying space on it. I think that brood is all dead, but they're just going to have to take care of that. Okay, so now I'm going to close up this top box where I found the queen. And I am going to take a quick look in the bottom box just to see what's going on in there. So, considering my first look at those 2 splits didn't look good, and then the infestation of ants and the fact that the queen had split and took off, let's use a better terminology, my best hope was that she made her way back into this hive, and that's exactly what has happened, because with that queen have come a whole lot of bees, and that's a really good thing. This frame here is just full of honey and nectar, so I don't want to get rid of it. Maybe they need it in the bottom. Let's have a look and see what's going on there. So this is the second time I've had the queen up in that top box, and the bottom box was doing really well with brood, so let's see if we've got the same situation now. I just want to make sure that I don't have multiple queens in this hive. I shouldn't, because as I said, out of this hive plus 2 splits, I only saw 1 queen. And I'm willing to bet that's the queen that's in the top of this box. But you never know. I'm not going to try and... a little windy. These bees have been amazing, as they always are. But I don't have a bee suit on. I don't have smoke going. So I really feel that I'm tempting fate. And my primary mission was to make sure that this hive was surviving and survivable. And I've already proven that it is. Another beautiful honey frame. Just looking for a second queen here, just because. Honey frame all the way. Okay, here's an empty frame. And I don't think I'm gonna swap it for that honey frame, because I'd rather have them drawing out comb to make for a place for the queen to lay than having it honey bound. And I'll tell you, I've been a lot better at spotting the queen this year. A lot better. Don't know why. More or less doing all the same things. Maybe it's just that I'm doing it often enough and with enough repetition that I'm getting better at it. Or maybe the queens just aren't shy and they're coming out to play. Good bee bread and nectar frame. They're getting ready to make this available for the queen to lay. That's a nice frame. That will be a very nice frame for her to lay in. Oh boy, look at that. Drone brood. Way too much and way in the wrong spot, plus a supersedure cell. 2, 3 supersedure cells, 4, whole bunch. Let's see what that side looks like. Just honey. So this frame was probably made either before the queen was fertile or by a laying worker. Because now there's a queen in here. She looks good. There is brood, cat brood. So I'm going to get rid of that queen cell. I'm going to get rid of these supersedure cells. And just probably figure that the queen will figure that out. Figure all that brood out. Sorry, all those drones out. Hate to see that in a hive. That is not a good looking frame. You see that? You want brood in your hive, but you want brood to be just lining, or sorry, you want drone comb, so drone brood, if you will. You just want it to be lining the bottom of the frame. You don't want it occupying a whole center punch of the frame like that, because that's where the queen has to make worker bees. So that's either the sign of a queen that was laying before she was fertilized, or the sign that a worker was laying as opposed to the queen. Another not so pretty frame here that I should get around to replacing. Okay, nothing going on this frame. Nothing going on this frame. Well, that's why she's laying up there, because she needs more room to lay down here. Okay. I'm going to see if I have a couple of better frames for her to lay in down here. Okay, because that's why she's in the upper box laying, because there's no good frames down here. Okay, so I'm going to give her this frame, which does have a bit of nectar in it, and this side has comb, which is pretty much all dead. So I think what they will do, I hope what they will do, is extricate the dead brood get rid of it, and then they have all that space available for the queen to lay. I'm not sure that they will do that. I really don't have any experience with that, but it kind of makes sense in my world anyway. So lay it this way, put it in this way. Let's see if I got one more frame that I can put in there. Okay, so I'm going to put this frame in there too. It's got some pollen in it, but a lot of room for her to lay. Still some dead brood in there, but she'll just have to clean that up. A couple ants too, so take care of those ants, will you, Queenie? Okay, I'm not going to check any more frames because I know two things now. I know the splits are basically abandoned. I know the queen and most of the bees made their way back into this hive. I know that she's laying. And she has a bit of room to lay, not too much. So I might just add another, I might just add a super to this box. Not so much for honey. It will be a medium super, but I'm not going to put a queen excluder on it. I'm going to put a medium super on top of this with drawn out comb where the queen can lay if she wants, right? I'll allow her to lay a couple of brood cycles in there because it has drawn out comb that she can lay in right away. And then hopefully if she continues to build up, I can then put the excluder on there and take some honey or let them build honey. This is not a year for honey for me. This is a year where my number one mission is strictly the survival of these bees, right? And that's why I did a split. I did a split because this hive wanted to swarm. This hive probably already did swarm because I never saw the queen. I only saw a queen in one of my splits that was made here, made in Canada. And that queen has just come back to this box. I have no doubt about that, which is very fortunate for me. It's fortunate that she swarmed back into this box, which was queenless, and not away somewhere. So I'm going to put this top box on, and then I'm going to put a little super on it. And in a way, the splits were successful. I don't have any more hives, but I still have the original 2 hives that I started out with, and they're really doing well. So that's a good thing. Still looks like the queen is probably over here. And this is one thing for beginner beekeepers. When you think the queen is in a particular box, when you see a big grouping like that, there's a good chance that's where she is. That's like the center of activity. Doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes, last couple of times for me, it has. Okay, so I'm going to grab that, put the inner lid on here, and I will grab that honey super and put it on. Okay, so on goes essentially what's a honey super, but I'm not putting the queen excluder on, so I'm perfectly fine. If the queen wants to make her way up there and lay some brood, she can start doing that right now as far as I'm concerned. So, wow, what a day. Again, not what I expected. I expected that my splits would be splitting, but they split instead of being a split. You know what I mean? My splits left their own confines and came back into their original hive, along with a queen that looks to be doing just fine. So, just goes to show you, have a plan and be really prepared to adapt and change it. On 4D Honeybee.